round 4, done and dusted. We're now going to move on. Let's get a little word from our sponsors as we now go into predicting what's about to happen down the pipe in round number 5. Here we go.
He's target. Oh, here comes the wall.
Love that crunch.
Let me add a little bit of spice.
So thanks as always to our sponsors, Rugby League 3/4. If you like a bet on Super League and you want to be around like-minded people, get yourself over to their Facebook page. They'll be telling you where the value in the market is. And as they always say, gamble responsibly. All right, Prediction League. Oh, who's that at the top? Interesting.
That's a surprise.
A great week for me. Great week. Really good week for me, has to be said. I got 3 on the nose and I've got 2 right teams as well. Text me above Mr. Schofield. Joel now on his own in 3rd. Then it's Greg and Steph, 59. A shocker for the fans forum last week, picking up only 9 points on the week. That is how the Prediction League stands after round number 4. Right, let's get into the games that are on the way. These are the fixtures for round number 5. The Salford Red Devils, the in-form Salford Red Devils going up against the Wigan Warriors. Then it's the Rhinos against the Saints. The Giants take on Hull KR. Hull FC will entertain the Leigh Leopards. The Catalan Dragons, they will host the Castleford Tigers. And finally, on Sunday, the London Broncos welcome the Warrington Wolves. That's how the fixtures go. Right, chaps, straight to the Thursday night game. Here we go. Salford taking on Wigan, last year's champions against the ones who just missed out on the playoffs. Round 6 last year, it was the reverse fixture. This was at the DW 2016 to Wigan, a close game. In round 16, 26-6 Wigan won at the Salford Community Stadium. And then they played again at the DW in round 24. Again, Wigan winning 26-8. Like Saints last week, Salford don't have a good record against Wigan. Could they do it 2 weeks in a row? 6th against first. The bookies, well, they don't think so. But actually quite tight odds. 1-3 Wigan, as opposed to 5-2 if you are the Salford Red Devils. As you can see, 3 wins in a row, taking on 3 wins. Wigan still top, of course. It had to be. I think this battle on this edge, Nene McDonald, Jake Wardle. Jake Wardle last year, of course, winning the Harry Sunderland at the grand final. I think all of us have got great respect for Jake Wardle. Him against Nene McDonald, chaps, should be a brilliant contest on the night. Before I bring you in and to get your thoughts on this game, let's just quickly bring you up to speed with a bit of news from both teams. Ollie Partington, he will not be back for this one. Ethan Ryan, Adam Sidlow are closing in on returns, but are not expected to be back for this one. Joe Mellor also out. Brad Singleton and Chris Hankinson also drop out. Hankinson's been in great form. David Nofaluma, he is in the squad. The big man could make his debut. As far as Wigan are concerned, Mike Cooper, of course, out. Liam Byrne returns. Great news for Wigan that. Lehman still out. Walter's still out. Essa still out. And Ethan Havard still out. I will start with you, Steph, because you're top left. We'll do as we usually do. Salford, Wigan. Can they do it again, Salford?
No.
Thanks for coming.
I think it's probably one game a bit too far for Salford, this one. I think the emotion of beating St Helens away will take a bit out of them. I think they put a lot of effort into that one. Wigan had probably the easier game against London, rested a few players. Smith and French are going to probably come back into this one. I think it's going to be close. I think Salford, they'll give them a real good go there. But I've got it as Wigan 1-8, so quite close, where some people might be a bit more.
I think Paul Rowley had set that. I think it seems it's 1-8 with 20 to go. I think Paul would be quite happy with that, wouldn't you say, Joe?
Yeah, I had it pretty close in Wigan's favour. But yeah, with the returnees and potential returnees for Wigan, I think it will just be that bit too much. But I think Salford, out of anybody, is going to be the club to run them close. That's for sure. Yeah,
this is going to be interesting. You went 9-17, Joel, on this one.
All right, okay. Yeah, I think that's still quite respectable for Salford, though.
Yeah, I mean, Wigan's got depth, haven't they? Let's be absolutely clear on that. And Paul Rowley continues in his press conferences to play down his team's chances. I had to say, I did smile though at his press conference after the Saints game because there was a little wry, cheeky grin on his face throughout.
He was loving it.
He was, wasn't he?
Greg,
mate, I mean, if Nofaluma does come in, and it probably will with Hankinson not being there, this, for Salford Red Devils fans, could be quite exciting. I think that three-quarter line, cross on the left is, let's be fair, go and wear some glass slippers, son. You've got Tim Lafay on your inside. Good lad.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Stealing a living, Mr. Cross. Stealing a living. And then you've got Nene McDonald and Nofaluma on the other side. That, if they can keep that fit, it ranks up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's where their biggest threat will come from throughout the season, if they can stay fit. They've got a lot of injuries. I think Salford, a lot of players out. I think the fact that Wigan rested players at the weekend, I think that will play in their favour. And I've gone for Wigan 9-17.
You've gone Wigan 9-17 as well.
I think the emotion of that game, I think it'll take them out of Salford. I think, as Steph said, the emotion of that win and the way it was achieved, I think is just, if they had London this week, I think they would have, they would have made it back to back, but not Wigan, not after resting players. And confidence is sky high. They put 60 past the team with some half decent players rested. The confidence at Wigan will be sky high.
Do you know what? We didn't mention this when we looked at that match review panel piece, but credit to Jack Ormonroyd on that Percival challenge. Shot to his feet, fair play.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're used to in rugby league.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We forgot to give him a rap for that. And
no Kate Cust as well as a big shout.
Cust out as well. Sorry, I missed Cust. You're right, Cust. He's going to be out because of HIA. You're spot on, my friend. Gary Schofield, he's gone Wigan 18 plus, as has the fans for him. I'm going 9-17 Wigan, which won't worry Paul Rowley or his charges because I had him 11th I had him 10th this season, and they're making a mockery of that. So they are, Paul. We've done your team talk for you. Put Super League Raw on for 10 minutes before they go out on the weekend, and I'm sure that'll give him the extra bit of petrol in the tank. Hopefully, Paul's watching this evening and his charges. Right, okay. We then move over to what arguably, gentlemen, will be game of the week. Here it is. Yeah, game of the week this week, Saints against going to Leeds. Before we do that, though, apologies to the fans in the chat. Let's get in there over that last game before we move on. Apologies. Shocking effort from me. Yellow card, Dave, yellow card. Alex Sharp, 18 plus to Wigan. Freddie McGilvey, 9-17. Callum Calver. Steph, are you coming to Hull on Saturday?
Potentially.
Well, let Callum know. He'll buy you a pint. Carsten Brune, Pietas by 12. Don't say Pietas. Don't say Pietas. Our friend Mr. Rigby doesn't like that. Dawn Baker, she's going Wigan 9-17. Surprise, surprise. Silla's here. Wigan 18 by 18. A lot of love. Nobody giving Salford a prayer in that one. So anyway, like I say, Super League Raw's done the team talk for Paul Rowley. Right, back to that game of the week. Leeds against Saints. They always deliver great games. Let's just hope we've not jinxed this one. We got it right last week. It was a belter last week between Warrington and OKR. Hopefully we've got it right again this week. Leeds Rhinos last year, round 3. Who can forget that? Who can forget that game at the Totally Wicked Stadium? Ash Shanley that night scored a special try, if you remember as well. 25 points to 24. Then round 13, Saints got their own back. That was the night that Leigh played Warrington. Me and Greg got back and watched the whole game straight after. And it was a win for Saints, 13 points to 12 and a nail biter. And then round 20, again, back at Headingley, Saints winning 22 points to 18. Currently position second place, fifth, 6-4. The Rhinos 8-15 on the Saints. Both of these two teams coming in with 3 wins, 2 wins in a row against brilliant opposition. It's got to say for Leeds, Catalan at home, then Leigh away. 2 statement wins there without doubt. We picked out Brodie Croft, Johnny Lomax. I think Crofty's growing in a Leeds Rhino shirt. And, of course, Mr. Lomax is just a Rolls Royce of a player, let's be fair. Joel, coming to you. But before we do, let's get into the players. Andy Ackers is a concern, suffering a shin injury in that game against Leigh. David Foster-Tua out. Of course, there'll be no Durrell Alferts now. Morgan Gannon, 3 months it's been confirmed for Gannon. But good news for them. James Bentley does return from suspension. Sam Lazone still got a match to go. As for Saints, Matty Lees and Joe Batchelor are expected to return this week into this game. Still no Parza. Percival out for 1 game. But Conrad Hubble returns from his suspension and will probably replace Percival. Joel, Leeds, Saints should be a mouthwaterer. Go for it. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, he took words out of my mouth there. I was going to say it is literally his mouthwatering. That's the kind of fixtures you really look forward to. We all know for sure Saints are going to be smarting after last week, so they're going to be coming out firing. There's going to be no big mistakes from them. That's for sure. They're going to make sure of that. Paul Owens won't let that happen. But we also have to realise that Leeds are on a bit of an ascendancy. So they're doing well. So it's going to be a close one. I believe I've went for Saints on this. I can't remember what I've...
Well, you did. You went Saints 1-8. Unlike Uncle Freddie, proud Super League Raw member there, he sees it the Rhinos 1-8. You'll be having an arm wrestle when you see him this weekend. Freddie McGill going the way of the Rhinos. Greg, your thoughts on this? Again, should be a belt to this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. One of the games of the season always is. I can't see Saints losing 2 on the bounce. Saints will be hurting, especially the nature of the defeat. They're bringing some fresh players in. I'm going Saints 9-17.
9-17. The Saints, I mean, again, they will be smarting after that Salford game, and there's nothing worse than an injured Saints in terms of the pride stakes. And actually, can I get your view on this as well? Quickly going back to round 4, on in the sheds. I'll come round the screen on this. I pointed out after the Dodd try, the first Dodd try, the body language of Welsby and Dodd was wrong. If you watch after that try, they're high-tenning each other, they're all smiles. And in the same frame, Alex Walmsley is all business. Yes, he patted him on the back, but his face was stern. It's still game on. And in the next kickoff, Welsby lets the ball bounce. Salford get the ball, and they go in. They end up going in for a try. Paul Wellington, his post-match press conference, said there was only one team in it up until 20 minutes. What's your thoughts on that? I mean, did you see it? I mean, I just thought it was a bit arrogant, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think they thought they'd won it.
Yeah.
They put the cue on the rack, as the old saying goes.
Yeah, and on the night, there were no Alex Higgins. Over to you, what were your thoughts?
No disrespect to Saints, but they can be guilty of doing that, of turning up to games thinking they're going to win or thinking they've won games, and sometimes it does bite them on the backside. Thinking Wembley 2019, they can be guilty of that sometimes, Saints.
Yeah. Alex Sharp there in the chat saying Helens are expected to take 1,200 fans, so should be a great atmosphere. Steph, your thoughts on that? Did you see it? What were your thoughts on Welsby and Doddy?
I mean, the greatest teams don't believe their own hype. And that's the thing for me. They just get on with the business. They deliver every week and they get it done. And I definitely think there was a bit of complacency there. Obviously, going down to 12 men never helps, but they're in a position where they're 20 points to 6 up. It's a bit like, we said it with the Leigh, when you shouldn't be losing that kind of deficit. But, the 12 men kind of helps it. But what I will say is that hungry dogs run faster.
Well, I'll give you a quote. We've already taught Winston Churchill already tonight. Here's one. Attitude is a little thing that makes a big difference. So Winston once said, and there was one team who had the right attitude. That was the Salford Red Devils. Steph, I think, Greg, we've had your prediction on this, haven't we? Saints? Leeds?
Yeah, 9-17.
9-17. Steph, your prediction, mate?
Yeah, so like I say, hungry dogs run faster. I think Welland's going to get them really fired up for this one. I think it's going to be a real close game. Leeds are doing really well at the moment, but I think Saints might just edge it 1-8.
You're going 1 to 8. Well, Ryan Birch, he's going Leeds 1 to 8. A lot of love for Saints in the chat. Hello, Nicola again. Nicola Burtonwood. Great to see you, Nicola. Hopefully, again, new name that for the last couple of weeks. Great that Nicola's found us. I don't know if you've been with us before, Nick, but great to have your comments. Keep them coming. She's gone Saints 1 to 8. Carsten, our friend over there on YouTube, he's going Saints by 24. I'm going Saints by 1 to 8. I'm hoping for another real nail biter. I really do. I just hope it's that close. I think it'd be fantastic. The fans form, they're going with Ryan. They're going Leeds 1 to 8, and no surprises, Gary Schofield, he's gone Leeds 9 to 17. Did anybody see that one?
Yeah, could be wrong. Strange things have happened.
Right, as we now move on, but before we do move on to the next one, it's only right and it's only appropriate that we put this little one on the screen. I hope you're not going to disappoint him. Greg Roach, please predict Hull KR by 1 to 8. Greg, you are a wire Nostradamus. Please, Joel, I love a photo celebrating your predictions, buddy. Of course, last week, if you remember, Saint backed Castleford against Huddersfield Giants, and at full time Greg Roach and Joel got together for a wonderful selfie and they mailed it, personally airmail, to Mr. Nixon. Greg, how did you find that photo?
I thought it was offensive and rude, to be honest.
Absolute genius.
I loved it.
Absolute genius. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've not seen that photo, head over to the fans forum. The boys put it on there. I thought it was comedy gold.
Absolutely. I'll be right back in your box, guys. Well done.
I have to say, Greg won the photo, and when we did the wheel last week, they said that you should use it as your predictions. Greg Roach is on fire. He's on absolute fire this season, is Greg Roach. Right, let's get to this one then. Huddersfield entertaining Hull KR. Let's look at the tail of the tape. Last year, of course, Huddersfield finished 9th. KR finished, but they didn't finish 7th. Apologies for that. They finished 4th. Don't know where I was going with that one. Round 11, 28-0 at Craven Park. 18-26 in this fixture last year, going the way of KR. Current position 7th and 8th, right next door to each other in the table. Current odds 4-6. The Giants 13-10. So the Giants favourites for this one. Both coming in with 2 wins. Of course, 2 losses on the bounce now for KR. You've got to say play to watch Mikey Lewis. But Adam Clune, I mean, again, we said he wasn't man of the match, but gentlemen, what a wonderful try from Mr. Clune.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it?
In the points, I think, in the goal flop one, was it?
Right, he was, yeah.
They see stuff like that, and that's why, it was a brilliant try. Brilliant try. It
was.
Yeah. Joel, what was your take on that try, Joel?
Well, it was funny because I actually had to ask Greg during the game. I said, did Clooney kick that? Because I was that shocked that he'd done that kind of play. Because Clooney is very well known for more what he does off the ball than he does on the ball, which you guys may not see much of. But when you're watching him week in, week out, you really can see that he's very talkative with his players.
Well, all I'm going to say to you there, Joel, is your attention to detail is clearly very impressive. If you didn't know he kicked it, and I found it quite interesting that in the same sentence, you then turn around and say, "Gents, you might not notice, but Adam Clune, considering that you didn't notice he kicked the ball, I think that's a bit strong, mate. I really do. Remember the company you're in, sir. Come on."
I'll tell you what, Joel, you're getting some pelters tonight.
Well, I can take you up for you, mate. He gave you pelters, mate. I'm coming in on you, buddy. I am.
I can take it, yeah. Bring it on.
Joel, do the Huddersfield fans call him Clooney? Clooney. Do they do that yet?
I think we pretty much do that to every player we have, I think.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
The Castleford players called get into him.
But you know what? This is a really interesting game for both teams, gents. KR, they'll be upset after last week. I mean, 2 defeats now on the bounce to Salford and Warrington. Huddersfield needed that last week, and it was a convincing win. And when the advantage when you have a win like that, it does help combinations. It does help, when you've got the ball. Don't get me wrong, Castleford, let's not forget, Castleford just after half-time are right in that game before, quite frankly, Castleford down tools, and that's another story. But, Huddersfield scored some very nice tries. The Clune effect, he looked a lot more comfortable in the game. So this is an interesting game. It really is. If Huddersfield could go and win this, it's just joy for the Cowbell Army. And for the Robins, well, you know, to have 3 defeats in a row after all the hullabaloo of the signings and the rest. Remember, I put them 7th this season. Oh dear, it could be interesting. Elliot Wallace, probably not going to be in this one. Also, will remain on the wing, we expect. Matty English returns from his HIA. Adam Milner returns from his suspension, is my understanding. And the Robins have no injury concerns, so it's a fully fit Robins going to come to the John Smith Stadium. Joel will bring you in last. So we'll start with Steph on this one. Again, you know, we talked about Leeds Saints, Steph. Great game. Salford Wigan, great game. This is another great game, isn't it, this weekend?
Oh, absolutely. And I think, you know, two sides are going to go head-to-head here, but on a really good track at the John Smiths. And I think Joel's comment earlier is very relevant here because Hull KR, you know, they played on that, you know, it's a bog base, it's potato field, I think I called it, you know, whereas I think they're a dry track team. Whereas Huddersfield went away to Castleford and played on their pitch this week. So I think it's a big factor in this game. And I think the players that Hull KR have got, they really suit a really fast pitch. So that's why, and I'm sorry, Joel, Freddie, Greg Roach, all my really good friends, but I'm going for KR 9-17 here.
Well, Freddie McGilvey sees it close. There's Uncle Freddie, again, a member. That's why Freddie's coming up on the screen quite a lot. 1-8. Kobe, our newest member after tonight, he's heading over to Patreon later and joining up. He's going the Giants 24. That's a big win. Giants by 24.
Wow.
Ryan Birch, he's going Giants 1-8. Carsten, he's going KR by 8. And Greg Roach, he's saying, seriously, guys, a significant game for both teams early in the season. Alex Sharp, our newest member, 9-17, Hull KR. Greg, your thoughts on this again? Belting game.
It is, Ed, yeah, and I've gone KR 90-110. It is.
I'm happy you're predicting that.
Greg's opened the champagne, Greg Roach.
You're all made up with that one.
It's just
love it.
turned up at our house with a crate. No, seriously, I haven't. In case you thought I was being serious, go back on planet Earth. I think, you know, this is a very, very important win for either team. But I'm sorry, Greg and Joel. I've gone Giants 9-17.
Wow.
That's going to be a 50-0.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, Greg. Yeah, Mr. Rowe.
Never mind, Joel. Never mind.
Joel.
No, I can't let me explain.
It's good that it lasted.
KR's confidence is shot. They haven't got a goal kicker. They've got a few players out. And I think Huddersfield's confidence after last week, again,
No,
a bit
KR
like...
fully fit, mate. KR fully fit.
I thought they had a couple out still.
No, fully fit.
Still, I think the confidence will be shot. I think they haven't got a kicker as well. So you often find with teams that haven't got a kicker, they bomb tries because they want to try and score as close to sticks as possible, where the easy option might be out wide. I know, you know, I've seen a lot of teams do that over the years, haven't got a recognised kicker, bomb tries out wide because they're too concerned about getting it nearer to the post. I think Giants will win it 9-17.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Right, Joel, your side. Go on, Joel. Big game this. Should be a belter. Great players on the field of play. Let's hope that the flair players turn up. Again, the three-quarter battle should be riveting. I think, you know, both sides have got really good three-quarter lines. Quality in the halves. It should be close. Go on, Joel. What's your thoughts?
So my prediction, I actually went for Hull to win by this, by a close one. I've just got a feeling, and it's what Steph said, that I agree with. Hull suit a fast pitch, and we've got to admit that we do have a really good pitch. And the drainage is unbelievable, so it can be belting it down. It'll still be a quick pitch. So Mikey Lewis is going to have a field day, and we've still not got a fully fit team yet. Got to remember that we've not got a full fit team.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just going to pip us at the end, but it is going to be close.
So you're going 1-8 again, and as a neutral, mate, I'd set that because one thing is certain. I think there's going to be scoring in this game. So it's a 1-8. We're in for an absolute treat. We really are. I've gone KR 1-8. I've gone KR. I think they'll be bruised. But you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it was 1-8 the other way. Gary Schofield, he's on Huddersfield 90-17, as has the fans for him. So a lot of love for Huddersfield. A lot of love for Huddersfield, just not off their own supporter Joe, which is quite interesting, really.
You're going to call it straight, aren't you?
Mate, we always call it straight on Super League Rock. Always. That's the way. That's the way we roll.
Our betting partner, based on Reggie's one, has just said lump on LKR.
Right. For those,
I'm going to turn on myself.
Just a quick recap for anybody who has joined us late. We keep talking about the Super League Raw membership. It is the more members we get, the more we're going to give back. It's as simple as that. We need your support to keep making these shows bigger and better. The way you can join right after the show for as little as $2.99 for all of this entertainment on a Tuesday, all the shows we do, go to Patreon, Super League Raw. If you weren't here earlier on, the latest competition, exclusive for members, 2 tickets to the Challenge Cup final on June the 8th. Member-only competition, a random draw coming the weekend of the semi-final. You don't not want to be in that one. So get yourself over, even if it's just a contribution of £2.99 to help us on our way. It will be really well received. Right, gents, a little announcement before we do the last 3 games. Would you like to know who the next in conversation is going to be with?
Yes, let's.
Here we go. So, yes, it's Oliver Partington of Salford Red Devils. A lot of talk about him maybe going to Warrington. He talks about that. Also, he talks about his hopes for this season, the new signings at Salford, his take on the losses that Salford have incurred, Paul Rowley, Sean Wayne, Adrian Lamb. He talks about all of his coaches over his career. Do you know what? It was a really good chat that we had with Ollie Partington this morning. Members, be at the ready. The members will have Oliver Partington in conversation from tomorrow. That's what the members get. They get it from tomorrow for a whole week. It will go live. Well, it will be premiered on YouTube for non-members a week tomorrow. So for a week, you can watch it in advance. But Ollie Partington, make sure you tune into that. And more announcements. We've got some really good in conversations on the way. More on that as the weeks pass. Right, now we get into the next game. And it can only be, of course, the big one, if you're Steph Sale on Saturday, Hull FC taking on the Leigh Leopards. This is a big game as well. It really is, no doubt about it. I don't know, last year, 10th, of course, against 5th. Look at that this year, 10th against 9th. Wow. Last season, Leigh did the double, 24-16 at the MKM, and at the Leigh Sports Village, it was 28-16, a bit better. The current match odds, they see Hull FC as favourite. Who'd have thought that? A couple of weeks ago, 6-5, the Leigh Leopards. Leigh, 3 losses. You just wouldn't have had that at the start of the season. A mixed bag there for Hull. New Brown, I thought, again, looked to be steadily improving at Catalan. Matt Moylan, no doubt about it. He seems to be improving week on week. And again, you talk about, the Leigh Sports Village pitch is good, but I think the MKM's is slightly better, so he'll probably enjoy that one. Right, before we go around the screen, Greg, I'm going to start with you in a moment, mate. On this one, we'll go to Steph last. Jack Brown, Liam Sutcliffe back from suspension, so a bit of good news for Hull FC coming into this one. Of course, no Matty Russell. They will have Joe Bullock. Jack Walker, guys, what a blow for Hull FC. The form that Walker's been in, and it's been confirmed it's going to be about 4 to 6 weeks. That's a hammer blow for Hull FC, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huge.
Major.
Yeah.
Good news though, Danny Houghton come off with a tight hamstring. He's going to be in the 21-man squad. He's expected to play. That's a result if you're a Hull FC fan. Brad Fash still out. Joe Cater still out. Liam Tyndall, Drake Truman. Oh, it's just a list as long as your arm, isn't it? Unbelievable, really. Of course, now also another big blow. Ashworth's been in great form. Great form for them. And also Franklin Pelly has been announced that he's going to miss. He's had an operation during his suspension, and he's going to be out for a couple of weeks as well. So there's definitely good news for Steph. We'll get to him last, in terms of this is a depleted Hull FC. If ever a depleted Leigh was going to go to a depleted Hull, this is the time, isn't it? As for Leigh,
they're both depleted, yeah.
Both depleted, 100%. But let's not sugarcoat this, Greg. 3 dream teamers out. Lamb, Asiata, and Edwin Ipape. Massive holes. We know how good they were. But of course, a new superstar has been unleashed last week with Mr. Hanley on the wing. Outstanding stuff there. Greg, again, for all the wrong reasons probably, in the fact that because they have so many injured, this is a lottery and it should be a really interesting game, mate.
It is. I reckon it's one of those games that you look at and you think, I'm not so sure, and it turns into a classic. I think Hull played really, really well. I think they played the best they played all season against Catalans last week. Leigh, it's a big blow losing Lamb. You know, they've had some big players out this season, and it's Leigh's turn to benefit from my genius predictions this week.
Jesus, no.
Leigh 60-80.
Where are you going, Leigh?
No, Hull. I've gone Hull 1-8.
Another tight one.
As we speak.
Another tight one, right? And again, I hope you're right. I love these. Do you know what? It's a great job, lads. Just for a minute, how good's Rugby League? How good is Rugby League? It's just outstanding, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Roll on the weekend. Oh, dear me. Joel, go on, mate. Your take on this one.
Yeah, I've got a Leigh win because I think they're still too strong for Hull, regardless of who's out. And it's a good thing that Franklin Pillay is not playing. I think he's more of a hindrance than a help to Hull. So
after one game, isn't
it? You could just tell. You can just tell the his old demeanour. Just I'm not a fan. But yeah, I think Leigh's going to be hurting from in the position that they're in right now, and I don't see him being in that position at the end of the season. That's for certain. But I think it's going to be a close one. But yeah, Leigh will win.
Well, Greg Roach again giving us a plug. Greg, thanks, mate. Really appreciate your support, Mr. Roach. Outstanding stuff. Freddie McGilvey's gone Leigh 1-8. Kev Worrell, Leigh, he's gone by 10. Ryan Birch is going Leigh 1-8. And Carsten, who's Derek? Carsten said Derek's red. Oh, Derek Beaumont. Oh, yeah, my apologies. Derek Beaumont's red wine. Yeah, I mean, well, go on then, Steph. Derek, been upset after the Leeds game. What do you make of that? And then talk about this one.
I think all Leigh fans are upset about the last game, but you're always going to be upset when your team loses, aren't you? When you're on the benefit of decisions or whatever, you don't go out and celebrate, kind of thing. So you're always going to be a bit grumpy about it, kind of thing. So
we call it straight away, Steph. Joel said it. I've got a lot of love for Leigh. Nicola Burton would there hoping it's Leigh's first win of the season. Key players injured, she's going 1-8. I had a lot of love for Leigh, still do. Last year, I thought you were absolutely brilliant. And you've won a lot of friends as well. But this is the second time Derek has come out and said something similar. I'd like it if he probably kept it behind closed doors, personally.
Yeah, but it's very easy to say when you're not putting millions of pounds into the sport.
Yeah, true.
I think he's made response to that one. We'd all love to be in that position, wouldn't we? Kind of thing. And I can understand this. I mean, I didn't want to go on to it, but I will do. Yeah. How Ackers hasn't got even cited by the match review panel for that is ridiculous. Given the focus on head injuries and stuff like that, you whack somewhere in there. I mean,
yeah, you're right. You are right on that one.
Beyond belief. So if you want to understand why Derek's frustrated, that's why all Leigh fans were frustrated this week. Is all I'll say, and that ends that one.
Before you go on to this game, Ryan Birch, join the Super League Raw community better than the sausage rolls at Salford, Greg. That's what Ryan said. Better than the sausage rolls at Salford.
The sausage rolls come a close second, but you're right.
They come a close second. Yeah, happy days. So Steph, go on, mate. So Hull FC, how do you see it, mate?
I think this has got the potential to be the game of the week for what Reggie said before. It's that in the balance. There's that many players injured. Losing Lamb for us is massive. But the good news on that one is it looked like he was going to be out for the season when he was limping off. it's going to be 2 weeks by the sound of it, because it's a cut to his leg rather than a knee injury or whatever. So that's the most positive thing.
It's good news for the league as well, that, mate. We need
it's fantastic. You know, we're doing it tough. We're doing it really tough at the moment, and you know that you can't have the season we had last season without expecting to do that again back to back. But Hull FC are doing it tough as well, and that's why I think it's got the potential to be an absolute classic. This one. You know, the biggest plus for us, Amaya Hanley from last week. Let's hope he can go and do what he can do and repeat that and become our Ash Hanley.
Just on that topic there on the screen, Steph, Mike Ward saying no Briscoe. Based on Hanley's performance, I presume you're quite comfortable?
I think it's an upgrade.
Fair play.
Of one game, and that's very, you know, again, very easy. You know, he's played one game, the lad, but I think all the Leigh fans were really impressed with how he took that, and I think more importantly how he spoke on after the game about his, you know, passion to play for that and respect for Lamb for picking him and all that kind of thing. So that was the most pleasing thing this season, actually, for me, to see him come out like that. I think. In terms of the game, and sorry we are going on a bit here, but in terms of the game, I see it being very, very close. I've actually, for the first time, predicted Leigh to lose this one. I've gone Hull 1-8.
Wow. Well, Nicola Burton would also giving Hanley his just desserts. Absolutely Hanley for me. Had the second one. Had he managed to have scored that second one, it'd have been even better than the first. And
well, we win that game. He scores 100%. That, we win the game.
100%. And you know, Steph said Matty Ashton-esque. I mean, he has, and I think that's something now that Briscoe hasn't got. So I think you're right. And you know, Alex Sharp, he's got in there. Hanley was super. If Ash didn't get the last-ditch tackle, would have been game over. He's absolutely right. That was the game-breaking moment. Hanley goes in, game over. Gary Schofield, he's gone Leigh 1-8. I've gone Leigh 1-8. Greg, to confirm, Hull FC 1-8. Joel is going Leigh 9-17. Is that right, Joel?
Yeah.
Steph going FC 1-8. That stings. And the fans forum, Leigh 9-17.
Wow.
So there you go. That's how they see it. Right, we now go to the last two games. The first one, oh dear me, this one. Oh dear God. Right. Second game last season. This in round 7 last year. It was, if you remember, it was a great game. This was the one where Jack Broadbent scored that beautiful try for Castleford Tigers, 22-18. To be fair, Castleford should have won that day. They were good value that night, Castleford Tigers. In the return game at the Jungle, that's the other way around, isn't it? 46-22, my apologies. 46-22, the way of the Dragons. Third against 11th this season. Current game odds 1-40. The Dragons, that's big.
40 to 1. 1-40. I've never seen odds that big.
That's massive. 12-1, the Castleford Tigers. Mickey Bacaloran back. Be good to see Mickey. Jacob Miller. And do you know what? Craig Lingard came out in his press conference. He got a lot of flack last year, Jacob Miller. But I have to say, Jacob Miller's not the problem at Castleford this year. I think Jacob Miller is really standing up. He's trying his best. Him and Westerman. I thought the second try as well that in his senior scored. Fair play to him. Really good try. Right, where we're going to start. We finished with Steph, didn't we? We'll start with Joel this time and go. We'll go around the other way. Right, Alrix de Costa. He failed his HIA. He's out. Big blow for the comp. Jaden Nikarima out. Hamstring. That's a blow. I think this kid's class. That's a blow for the comp. Still no Takiaho. Manu Mao still out. Zenon out. But like I say, Mickey Mack is back. Big blow for Castleford. El Zakem, who's been really good in those first 3 rounds. He was out with a knee issue. He's after failing fitness test. Him, Alex Mellor also out. Gary out. McShane could be back, they're saying, which is interesting. No Josh Griffin, no Josh Hodgson, and Liam Watts is still suspended for 1 more game. So McShane comes back, that'd be a bonus for Castleford. Joel, Cass going to Perpignan.
Yeah, it's just too much for him. It's going to be too much. I noticed in the first half of that game, I said it to Greg, Jacob Miller looked a bit lost in the first half.
Yeah.
And he wasn't talking to his teammates. And that's why they were out of sync. There was nobody taking lead, and he should be doing that. But when they came out in the second half, it was the total opposite. They played much better for a period because Jacob was screaming out to all lads. He was getting them all in the positions, and they were playing well. But then obviously they just tailed off because we were far too good for them. So for them to even have a hope of scoring at Catalan, he's going to have to really, really step up this week, big time. But if we see a blowout, which I think there might be a potential of, it'll let us know what the team's about after what Lingard said.
So what way are you going, mate?
18 plus for Catalan.
Well, here's one for Ryan Birch. Catalan by 60, Greg. 60. I can't see that, can you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, Andy and Sue, I tried. Go on.
There's a potential.
Nick might be out, but it opens the door for Artem Org to come back in, who I thought was superb when he came on Saturday. This is 18 plus all over for Cats, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
I just can't see any other result.
No. Steph?
I've been to Perpignan a few times over the years, and I've never seen a comedy store in Perpignan. But I think that's the only way that the Castleford players will be laughing this week. They're going to get an absolute good hiding.
So basically, any Castleford fan that's going to Perpignan, skip the game and go and take in the local culture. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. Get to the beach. You're getting a good hiding this week, boys. Sorry.
Oh, dear me. Oh, God bless our Castleford. Yeah, I mean, look, no surprise. Everybody, even Kobe McGilvey, our next member, is saying Catalan by 20. I keep going at you, Kobe, and Joel is finding it very funny. I'll keep banging that drum. But yeah,
cowbell.
The cowbell, yeah, absolutely, yeah, the cowbell.
Thank you.
So everybody going 18 plus, yeah, like you guys, I just can't see it going any other way. And then the final game on Sunday, bringing the curtain down on round number 5. Let's hope we've been fully entertained. I'm sure we will be. The London Broncos going up against the Warrington Wolves. Let's not forget the Broncos again. 55 minutes, 50 minutes in, they're still in that game against Wigan. Warrington cannot take this one for granted. Nobody, for me, can take. One thing that London are showing that at the moment Castleford aren't is a bit of heart and a bit of desire. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's the reality of the situation. London are playing for the full 80. They might not be getting the wins. They might not be getting the just desserts, but I'll tell you what, against Wigan, yeah, maybe they peaked it out at the end, but for 50 minutes against the World Club champions, to run them that close, you've got to give London some respect. Alex Walker back. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. He had a very bit part cameo against Wigan. It'll be interesting to see him. I think he'll get more game time against Warrington. The usuals are out. No real good news as far as London concerned, albeit Reece Butterworth and Fenton Rogers remain there and will probably be a part of the 17-man squad. As for the Warrington Wolves, George Williams, I would not expect to see him. By all accounts, he aggravated his ankle again in that win at Hull KR. I would expect somebody else to be partnering Leon Hayes, based on the fact that Hayes is so young, possibly Ratchford for his experience, maybe. Greg, you mentioned Duffy. We'll probably talk about that. You'll probably talk about that when we come to you in a minute. No Josh Drinkwater, he's out for 4 weeks. No Roderick Ty, no Matty Nicholson in this one either. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who Warrington put in the half-backs. We don't expect to see George Williams. 1-20, Warrington against London. And you know what, I know it's at London, but that 1-40 for Catalan, we just seen a minute ago. Warrington are 1-20 against London. That says a lot about those odds for Castleford, doesn't it? It really, really does. Yet to win. The win will happen. It will happen at some point. London will win. There's no doubt about that. The question is, will it be this weekend? I'll come to Greg last, as it's Warrington. Steph, we'll start with you. Mike Eccles is London against Mr. Burgess's Wyatt. How do you see it?
Well, I don't know who's going to be herding the cattle in London this week, but this win's going to be massive for Warrington. 18 plus.
18 plus. Well, London, great team spirit. Wall, you're spot on. Joel, how do you see it?
Yeah, of course a wire win, but up until I saw the score against how they played against Wigan, I thought, well, maybe it's not going to be a massive blowout. So I think I went 9-17 wire.
Mate, you went 18 plus wire, mate.
Oh, right, 18. Right, that's fine. But yeah, I don't see it being a major blowout though.
Fair enough. Joel, yet again, proving like the Adam Clue moment, his attention to detail is unsurpassed.
He's giving you pelters tonight, Joel.
You could say why are we going to?
I'm not seeing him for a couple of weeks. I'm safe. He'll have forgot by the time I see him.
He's brave when he walk into the King's Head in a couple of weeks.
I'll be there.
He'll be there. Greg, mate, Warrington. You've been happy. I mean, we've all been laughing because the amount of times you brought this game up since the start of the season. So go on, mate. We're now there. London, Warrington.
Yeah, I got some pelters before the season started by saying this game defines what Warrington team we've got. I don't think we'll lose, although stranger things have happened, and Warrington are the gift that keep on giving to teams that can never win a game. But the extent of the victory and the performance will tell us what kind of a Warrington team we've got. That was the point I was making pre-season. Yes, I think we'll win. I'd love to see, if he's going to bring Ratchford in, I'd put him in the centre, put Wrench to the wing, Thewlis at full-back, and put Dufty in the halves with Leon
Hayes, mate.
Leon Hayes, that's it. I had a senile moment there.
I had a Joel moment.
Sharing the
It's late. I've not had any alcohol for 3 days. Come on,
Reggie. Do you think Weil will win another?
One thing's for certain, mate. The cat that gets the cream will win.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yep. You're milking it now, guys. Come on, you're milking it.
100%. Hey, showing it. Hey, no, there's no black and white spots here, mate. Crack on.
Grass is always greener.
Grass is always greener. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
Sorry, am I in some bad?
He's thinking of one.
Am I in some bad sketch here? It's like being in a flash show.
Anyway.
Stop milking it, Reggie. Stop milking it.
I've already had that one. You can't have that one.
Yeah.
Hey, come on then. So you're going what? Wire 18 plus, Greg? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But again, like you say,
and it's no surprise. Everybody else has gone wire 18 plus. There you can see it is a good point. Alex Sharp, our newest member, every game for London Challenge Cup final, absolutely spot on. And they're going to win a lot of friends. They really are. So yeah, outstanding. Do you know what, guys? I've really enjoyed it. I don't know what it was. I just thought this is going to be a good night, this. And it's been a brilliant chat. I've got Mickey out, my mate Joel. It's been wonderful.
I think it's because you gave Joel some beef.
Oh, beef. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there you go. He's back in. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. You made mincemeat of him. Hey, there you go. Happy days.
You could stake wages on it.
Let's just confirm Let's just confirm. Right, okay, I'll get that off the chat. Sorry, apologies for this. Right, there you go. So that's how it goes. Everybody's going Wigan. Schofield and the fans form go Leeds. Everybody else is going Saints. A 50-50 split. The Huddersfield KR game. And again, surprisingly, the Leigh game too going the way of FC. The rest of us going with Leigh. Everybody showing love for Catalan and for Warrington. That is how we see it. Another week has flown by on Super League Raw Weekly. Get in the membership, chance to go to the Challenge Cup on us and all the benefits that go with it as well. The quiz is coming in April. More prizes there. Your own podcast, be a part of the team talk, get involved on a Sunday night. You're going to be live on a Monday morning for people to listen about your views on the greatest game on earth. Super League Raw just keeps getting bigger and better. It's been absolutely fantastic. Steph, Joel, Greg, as always, couldn't do it without you. Great mates, great company. Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock. Who's going to say it?
You can't beat a bit of weekly.